guys made it back safe and sound. That's awesome.
We did.
Glad to have you back. So
We did. Thank you.
another good bunch of questions this week. Are y'all ready?
We are ready. Let's do it.
All right. So question number one, a little expansion to it, is who pastors pastors? And I think an extension of this too is we all on staff to some degree care for people. So how do you take care of yourselves?
So the official answer is that the pastor of pastors is the bishop. Mm-hmm. So Bishop Yost would be our pastor. Now Bishop-elect Jenny Abisher would be our pastor, the pastor's pastor. But we don't live in the same city. And I often don't find myself calling the bishop, not because I don't want to. It's just, it's not, we don't live in the same town. And so sometimes it's better to have a relationship with people you see every day or more regular.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I answered that part, but there's still a big part of the question: who pastors the pastor? Yeah. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of pastors in our synod. I think somewhere between around 150, 150,
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. So it would be really impractical if every single pastor called the bishop every single time they needed a pastor. That would be really big. So I think every pastor has to think about that question and think about where do they find the care that they need. And that can come in a variety of ways. That can come from really close friends, close family. It's good to have friends who aren't part of the church. That's good too. Even professional help, spiritual directors, counselors, therapists, that all of those are good answers, but every pastor has to think through that question and think through it on a regular basis.
Whenever, as I first arrived at St. Matthew's 4 years ago, Pastor Blaylock was leaving and he said to me, "You're going to need to find a counselor to see regularly." I said, I don't need that. So I see a counselor regularly now.
Yeah.
And it's very important. I have to see that person's Christian counselor who helps very much listen to the burdens that pastors have to carry.
Yeah. I think for me, it's one of the best decisions I've made for my self-care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We do have a group at church. We call them mutual ministry. And those are a special group of people we trust very much and we talk to. And I think I see their role as not so much to solve our problems, but to make sure and hold us accountable to making sure that we are finding the help that we need and that we are taking care of ourselves.
And to listen too, Pastor. I think they are there to listen. Daniel, anything?
I usually just go to college, right? So if I'm dealing with something, I've surrounded myself with friends that are in the same field as me, and they serve as more or less like a sounding board. And I have other pastors in my life that I'll go to, because it's sometimes it's weird to bring like pastoral care concerns to you two because I work so closely with you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Oh, absolutely. I can't be supervisor and pastor. That's hard to do. Yeah.
Right. And so I just try to find other colleagues or other like mentors in my life that I can go to for those kinds of issues, which I think has helped.
Pastor, that's a good question.
Yeah. All right. So question 2 is, all right, so again, going back to thinking about that in-person worship, if a child acts up in church and say the parent yells at them, is God disappointed in the child or the parent?
I mean, I sure hope that God's not disappointed, because let's be real. I think just about everybody in the congregation has caught me cutting up at the front of the church with the youth. So
yeah. Yeah.
Hey, children cry in worship and they act out. If the children's aren't crying, then the church is dying.
There you go. Well, I think God's not so much disappointed. I think God's just understanding. Children have wiggles, and sometimes parents just don't have a good day.
Hey, at least they're there. At least the children are there.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we're glad they're there.
I
Yeah.
think we can all agree that sometimes the baby or the child upset or tired is really all of us. Because there's some Sundays where we're all just like, do we need to be here? You know, like, can we just call
You're
this
right.
early?
And the kids
You're
just
right.
more vocal about it.
And I'm like,
You're
yes,
right.
him
Mhm.
or her. I'm
Mhm.
with them.
Yeah. I think God's understanding, and parents, don't worry, your pastors don't judge. So there you go.
Pretty bad. We preach grace and then we're like, no, God's coming after you for your kids. Wow. What kind of message would that be? Let's just like let's in for a minute.
So Bible talks about the body of Christ, right?
Yeah.
So what body part of the body of Christ do you think that you are? And why?
You think that I am?
Yeah.
The pancreas. It's the powerhouse, right? Isn't that it? No, I don't want to be the pancreas.
I like this one. What body part of the body of Christ am I?
Man, this
I think it depends upon the day of the week and how I'm feeling. I would say in the pictures, at least we talked about last week, Daniel's hair regimen, which is what's going on today, Daniel?
I just got out of the shower. I'll be
Oh,
honest.
okay, all right. Weeks
Wait a
or
minute.
months
Does it
ago.
look bad? Hold on, Drizzle. Are you trying to say my hair looks bad now?
No, I was just asking. I was just asking what was happening. No, I was just asking what was happening.
I was like, hold on, wait.
Yeah, we have these American depictions of what Jesus looked like, and all those Jesus has great hair, a lot of product. So I'll go with that answer.
You wanna be
Jesus is
There's definitely
good
had a lot.
hair on a good hair day.
Oh, good hair day.
Yeah.
You're a good hair day on the body of Christ.
I
Yeah.
have a feeling I know who this one came from too. So, or does
Maybe
it
the people liver. That could be fun.
function? Yeah.
filter things out.
Well,
Yeah.
just yeah, maybe that's it. Or honestly, with as much as a loudmouth as I am, I'm probably the mouth.
The mouth.
I
Well,
mean,
the answer we should say are the hands and feet. We are the hands and feet of
there you go.
Christ.
God's work, our
of Jesus.
hands.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
These are good ones. These are good ones today.
Take it all in.
I don't know. I would strive to be the ears. How well I do that. Maybe sometimes they're clogged full of wax. I don't know.
Oh, that's gross.
It is gross,
I should
actually.
do something about that.
Okay, I'll strive to be clear ears.
Okay. All right.
All right. So we nearly got stumped, but we made it. All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys, for coming on out.
You'll be well. Thank you. Take care.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.